All right, Kevin Madden is a CNN political commentator and Republican strategist who worked for Mitt Romney in Washington, joining us now. And Ellis Henican is a liberal political commentator and a columnist at Newsday, joining us from New York. Good to see both of you, gentlemen.
Hey, Fred.
All right, Ellis, you first. So this just keeps growing. Investigations, now release of more than 2,000 documents. Does this kill any aspirations Governor Christie might have had for 2016?
Well, it doesn't kill it yet, but let's see what else comes out, right? The federal prosecutors have not even begun to squeeze some of the people who we know are involved in this thing. And, you know, they will make an effort to try and get them to rat up, to say, no, someone told me to do this, or other people were involved, in order to believe Chris Christie's denial. Essentially, you have to believe that Bridget Kelly, the deputy chief of staff, this mom of four from Ramsey, this nice lady, was some kind of rogue warrior in the New Jersey governor's office running this Nixonian-style hit job on the mayor in Fort Lee. You know, maybe that's true, but I have my doubts.
So I wonder, Kevin, if immunity is given to, say, his deputy chief of staff in exchange for tell us everything you know, is that when, I guess, Chris Christie or others need to be worried about the what's next?
Well, we don't know. I mean, that's a hypothetical that's impossible to answer. What we do know, though, and I think that's what Chris Christie and his team are looking at, is what is it that they can control. And I think they started with that. They started off on the right foot with the press conference where they answered questions for where he answered questions for almost 2 hours, and also took on a level of accountability. And also he had a level of contrition that I think resonated with a lot of people in New Jersey. Now, it's not over. It's not going to be finished just there. Every step of the way, whether there's new information that comes out as part of the investigation, or if there's new information that comes out as part of the governor's own investigation, he's going to have that same level of accountability, that same level of forthrightness, and that same level of contrition in order to really gain back the trust that he needs, not only of the people in New Jersey, but any potential Republican voters that are looking at him as a prospective 2016
And you kind of wonder,
candidate.
Kevin, you know, just for the sake of his leadership, saying that I didn't know, I mean, is that good enough? I mean, he's bragged and boasted about the fact that his administration, his office, they are like family, and now suddenly he's the one left out of a plot, a plan, something being executed. How believable is that?
Yeah, well, Fredricka, it's only good enough if it's the truth. That is the standard that he set himself. And I think that as he goes through this, he's going to have to make sure that that every single piece of new information that comes out meets that standard that he didn't know. I think it's a fair criticism that it's not good that he didn't know, but I think he actually in his press conference welcomed that criticism, and he has said he's going to go through a pretty detailed self-examination of what he did to actually encourage this kind of behavior.
And so, Ellis, to Kevin's point, does it speak well for Governor Christie that he did allow himself to be thrown tossed any question during 2 hours? He essentially gave this sort of, I'm an open book kind of demeanor. Does that bode well for him ultimately, especially for those who might doubt his word, but they did see that he was willing to answer anything, that he was willing to take it on?
Well, Kevin is right. He has good political skills. He sounded good standing up there. But at the same time, he locked himself into a very ironclad denial. And so it leaves him vulnerable that if any evidence to the contrary comes forward, if you have the chief of staff, Kevin O'Dowd, or if someone else says, well, maybe I mentioned it to the governor, or maybe he overheard it in the washroom, or, it doesn't appear that he was CC'd on any of these emails that were dumped last night. But he does not have a lot of wiggle room here. And you just have to put a big fat asterisk above that commentary that says, well, yeah, he did pretty well in the press conference.
All right, Ellis Henican, Kevin Madden, thanks so much, gentlemen. I know we'll be talking about this again
Great to be with you both.
See you guys soon.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.